£1 million in a stocks and shares ISA is not a fantasy. Ordinary people do it on ordinary salaries. The question is not whether it is possible, it is whether you have the time or the money to get there. Put in $300 a month and you are on one timeline. Put in $700 a month and you cut that timeline by over a decade. Before anything else, a housekeeping point. The ISA allowance and tax rules shift from year to year, so never trust a number you saw on YouTube last year. Always check the current allowance on gov.uk before you plan around it. This video deals in percentages and years, not fixed pound figures, because those are the things that do not change. Every calculation here assumes growth of 7% a year, which is a long-run illustrative average for a diversified global stock market, not a guarantee. Some years will be up 30%, some years will be down 20%, and that is normal. Capital is at risk whenever you invest, and past performance never guarantees future returns. We use 7% because it is a reasonable long-term assumption for planning, nothing more. Start at $300 a month, and, assuming 7% a year, you are looking at roughly 45 years to cross £1 million. That means starting in your 20s to arrive in your late 60s. It sounds slow because it is slow. The early years barely move the needle. This is the price of small contributions. Time has to do almost all the work. Push it up to $500 a month and the timeline drops to around 38 years. That is 7 years faster than the $300 path for less than double the monthly contribution. This is the effect of compounding. Extra money early gets more years to grow. It is the difference between hitting the target in your early 60s instead of your late 60s. At $700 a month, assuming the same 7%, you are looking at around 33 years. That could mean starting at 30 and crossing £1 million before you turn 65. Compare that to the $300 path and you have shaved over a decade off the journey. More money in early does not just add up, it compounds up. Line the three up and the pattern is obvious. $300 gets you there in your late 60s, $500 in your early 60s, $700 in your 50s. The rate of return never changed, 7% stayed constant across all three. What changed was the fuel you put in every single month, and that is the one variable you actually control. Here is the uncomfortable part. Starting 10 years earlier usually beats contributing twice as much money later. Someone putting in $300 a month from age 25 can outpace someone putting in $700 a month from age 35. Compounding rewards years in the market far more than it rewards lump sums. If you are in your 20s reading this, that is your biggest asset, not your salary. £1 million in 30 years will not buy what £1 million buys today. Inflation quietly erodes purchasing power every single year. The 7% assumption used here is before adjusting for that. So treat the final number as illustrative, not a promise of lifestyle. Capital is at risk, growth is never guaranteed, and markets do not move in a straight line. Plan with that in mind, not against it. Realistically, most people will not hit $700 a month in their 20s, and that is fine. This is not about shame. What actually separates the people who reach 7 figures is not income. It is consistency over decades without interruption. The average earner who never stops contributing usually beats the high earner who starts and stops 5 times. Consistency is the unfair advantage nobody talks about. The first habit that actually carries this timeline is automation. Money leaving your account before you ever see it. Manual contributions fail because life always finds a reason to skip a month. Set a standing order the day you get paid into a stocks and shares ISA and let it run untouched. This single habit matters more than almost any investment choice you will make. So the math says $300 to $700 a month gets you to 7 figures somewhere between your 50s and late 60s. Assuming 7% and total consistency. But maths on a screen and money in an actual account are two different things. In Part 2, we cover the exact habits, mistakes, and mindset shifts that separate the people who finish this journey from the people who quit at year 3. Stay with us.